Hey everyone, welcome back to the Universe and Me. This is your host, Miss Jaleisha J. If this is your first time watching or listening, thank you. And if you do not know me, I am an inspirational speaker, spiritual teacher, and I am an author. And I help you challenge your limited beliefs so that you can align and manifest the life that you desire. And I help you do this by giving you tools and resources to open up your heart space so you can live a more authentic life. So, on this podcast, we talk about all things self love, spirituality, healing, growing, religion sometimes, which is spirituality at the same time. It's all encompassed together. But we talk about everything that's about self knowledge, self awareness, growth. Okay. And so today's episode I'm really excited about is called Loving Your Woman. And we have a special guest that we're going to dive into all things womb based. And so I'm going to have her introduce herself and tell us what she does.
Hi, everybody. First of all, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I'm so excited. My name is Alexandra Endter. I am an angelic luminary and the owner of Luminary Magic LLC. I am a divine light surgeon as well as a celestial channel, and I help people to embrace their authentic soul through their physical, through their actions, and through just every aspect of their life. So how this relates to the womb is when I first started my journey in doing divine light surgery, most of my clients that came to me were actually people carrying traumas in their wombs, not even from their current lives, but from past lives. I even had men coming to me with womb traumas where they didn't even physically have a womb in their body, but their soul was still holding on to a trauma from a past life. And so I started going really, really in deep with all that the womb can do, all that it affects in our lives, how it really changes the way we see the world, how we create the world around us. And I've just been very, very passionate about that topic ever since. So even though I do all these other amazing things, I'm also an educator, I also am a ceremonialist, but I still always love coming back to working with the womb, empowering people through the word womb, and helping people realize truly how intelligent it is and how much it actually holds for us.
Oh wow. There's like a lot to unpack because I have like a lot of questions. I,
Let's
but
start.
uh, just the essence of everything you do, it still is about empowering. It still is about growth and healing and transforming. But
Oh, yes.
uh, I guess initially you said people that came to you, it was about unhealed trauma or pain in the womb and its past lives and even men. And I don't know if you saw my face. I was like, immediately I'm like, what? What are you talking about? So I can you because I gotta go there first. Like, can you
Go for it.
elaborate? How are you able to tell, that people are carrying wounds or trauma in their womb? And also, how are you able to tell that it's like from a past life and not currently from something that's going on within their own lives?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first things first, when I do divine light surgery, so the beautiful thing about how I work is the angels basically taught me everything I know. They took me under
Mm,
their wing, literally and figuratively, and said, "Hey, this is how we want you to heal people. This is the work we want you to do. This is how we want you to experience it." And so when I do healing work, I actually am taking the energy body, the energy layer of each individual, and I'm taking it up to the angelic realm with my energy layer. And I'm taking it inside myself and I'm working on it there and then separating it back out. So
oh,
big, yes, there's probably a lot more questions out of that. I'm sure audience questions and everything. We can go deeper into all of that for sure. But basically, the one thing you need to know is we have a digestive system, we have a respiratory system, we have all these other systems in our body. And so, yes, we absolutely have an energetic system as well. It is its own layer, it is its own piece of our being. It's one of our many layers of self. And so I can work within that layer. And in that layer is what holds everything. It holds all of your memories, it holds your entire chakra system, so all of your energy centers, it holds all the energy channels, any traumas. It's going to hold there in that energy layer. So
mm-hmm.
if you have womb trauma, even if you physically don't have a womb in your body, as soon as I pull that energy layer out and take it into the angelic realm with me, I will see that in that space. I will see the soul womb kind of holding and still placing itself in your physical body, even when you don't have a physical womb. So that's how I work with men who don't have wombs or
Mm,
women who have had hysterectomies, because I do also come across quite a few women who have hysterectomies who still need womb healing. So that's how that works. And then to know how it's a past life, well, when it comes to like, somebody who doesn't have a womb anymore, it's pretty quick to figure that one out. That okay, this isn't from current. This isn't something that happened to you currently. But most importantly, when I actually get into that womb and I actually start working in it, generally the womb is such an intelligent part of our soul and such an
mhm,
intelligent part of our body. It is its own creator.
mhm,
So when I connect with that womb, it usually is wanting to heal. It knows that it doesn't want to hold what it has anymore and it wants to release it. So
mhm,
it usually almost immediately starts telling me and showing me what it's holding on to. Starts
mm,
playing in my mind like a movie. I can begin experiencing what it's holding on to, and then I can heal it from the root once it shows me what the problem even is. So
mhm,
most often it ends up being past life memories. It ends up being situations that happen to us in such barbaric ways that the womb holds that memory. It encapsulates that memory and it keeps it within itself to not hurt us. It thinks
mm,
it's protecting us, it wants to save us.
mm,
And unfortunately, it just ends up poisoning itself by
mm,
holding on to that. But
mm,
it so badly doesn't want us to relive these traumas. So it holds it for us. It protects us. It's a mother, it's trying to keep us safe
mhm,
and it instead hurts itself, which then hurts us in the long run because it's part of us. So,
mm. I love all of that, Alexandra, because I used to a lot just always remind clients and remind women, and it relates to men as well, the power of the womb, the power of creation, the power of protecting our womb and loving on our womb and building a relationship with our womb. Because it's just so powerful. It's our creative source. It's where we give life. It's where we create life. It's where we, our passion flows from, our creativity, manifesting, all these different things. And so there could be blockages because of either our own stuff or past life. So I love how you broke that down. I wanted to ask you, because you said that the work that you do, you're able to go within your angels and find out what the actual issue is or whatnot. But for someone who may not, because there could be someone watching this or listening to this and they're like, I ain't got problems with my womb. um so how would they know that that probably there's something there that's holding them back or something that they need to pay attention to?
well, the beautiful thing is you just touched on so many things that the womb does. It's our creation, it's our manifestation, it's
Mhm,
it's all these amazing passionate things. Are you finding that you can't really get passionate about things? Are you finding that you really can't manifest what you want? Are you finding that you can't create things with your hands or with your mind or in art and music? Are you not able to flow together something absolutely beautiful and intuitive? Do you have to like put so much effort into bringing something into the world? Because if
mhm,
you do, there's probably a problem there. And if you go into meditation and you kind of focus down into that space in your body and you just give your body permission to speak to you, I think
mm,
you'll be so amazed at what your body starts to tell you. It may not show you the memories, it may not show you the traumas. One of the reasons I see those is because I am outside of the situation. The womb knows it's safe to tell me because then you don't have to hold it anymore.
mhm,
So that's why I hear those things and then I can actually release them outside. A lot of people, as I go through the healing process, I get shown and told many things by spirit guides and angels when I'm working on people that then afterwards they tell me, but don't tell them because otherwise
mhm,
it's stuck in your minds and you're going to keep thinking about it and you're going to rebirth that energy back into you. And that's something that they so badly don't want. So you may not hear the memory that the womb is holding. You may not hear the trauma. You may not hear what happened or see what happened or feel what happened again. But when you tune into that space and you're like, womb, I give you permission to speak to me. Are you okay? You're going to know pretty quick whether or not you're okay. it may just come through as just like this feeling of like sadness. Like, no, I'm not okay. It may actually come through as a vision of some sort of damage. It may come through as just a small whisper in your ear. No, I'm not. But
Mm,
either way, that's how you can tune into your own body and see how you're doing, see how you're feeling. If you're not okay, if your room's not okay, if it needs that love and support, a super easy way to start that healing work
mm,
is to, again, tune into your body, get really quiet, focus on that room space. And then there's a couple different ways you can go about it, but if you've never heard of the Ho'oponopono prayer, it's one of the most amazing ones you can do. The prayer itself is a Hawaiian prayer, and you just start saying, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Super powerful, has gratitude, has love, has forgiveness. So start saying that to your room and allow
mm,
it to start releasing. Allow it to have that gratitude, that love, that cherishment that you want to put into it. That's one good way. Or, just sit there and start talking to your own. Be like, hey, it's okay. It's safe to release these things. It's okay. We're safe now. We're in a better place. We're so much better. We're healing. We're growing. We're blossoming. We're glowing. Like, whatever you need to do, whatever affirmations you need to give that room, and I can almost no, I can guarantee you within 3 to 5 days of you consistently giving your room that attention and love and forgiveness and permission, your life's gonna change so much, so much. It's gonna
mm,
be amazing.
mm. I love that chant, that prayer, that mantra. I never heard of that before, but I think that's absolutely beautiful. I know when I used to do a lot of womb healing myself, I was very intentional because I carried a lot of sexual trauma from my childhood and whatnot. And so I had a lot of built-in shame about being sexual or being, sensual and
Yeah.
really expressing myself with a partner and feeling, just the trauma that you have, the shame that you have, which
Oh,
can block you in certain ways, especially if you are um either you could be overly sexual, you can be not so sexual, you can be, it could be come up
yeah.
in different ways. But for me, I had a lot of shame. And so I had to rebuild a relationship with my womb. I used to, I do it sometimes still now, but I used to take a mirror and I would like sit there and talk to her, and I would have like tell her how beautiful she is, and I would tell her that I love her,
Mm,
and that I forgive myself, and I would, which pretty much is like almost what you were saying about like the chant from Hawaiian. It's really about the mantra, like creating your own divine relationship with your womb and whatever
absolutely.
that looks like. And I am a believer that what we speak becomes life. And so if we're speaking good things into our womb or into our body, that shows up. That shows up. And it definitely has helped me navigate on my womb healing journey. And I do agree with you absolutely that you will see a change. It's just about being consistent and
Mm,
giving yourself space to actually, and you said, you touched on this earlier. I like to say give yourself space to hear her, to hear the womb,
yes.
and to hear the response, because she will respond. Or even if it's a he will respond. Your womb
Yes.
will talk to you. Your womb will tell you. Your womb will guide you as far as what you should be feeding yourself, how you should be treating yourself. Your womb will talk to you. Your womb will tell you if things are going on. And even what you were saying earlier, your womb will show up in ways where if you're blocked, creatively, if you're blocked even sexually, if you're blocked in a way of your passion, your drive, that's your womb talking to you, because there's something that needs to be paid attention to. So it's just about building that connection with the
Oh,
womb to understand what's being communicated, and when you build a connection, I think it empowers you even more, because it's like almost, it's to me, it's like my another source of my intuition, another source of my guide within, right? What do you
yeah.
think?
I believe that wholeheartedly because one of the things about the womb is it's such a huge epicenter of
Mhm.
our personal mothering energy and our personal
Mhm.
divine feminine energy. And divine feminine is always tied to our intuition, but
Mhm.
mothering energy is always tied to nourishment.
Mhm.
And so, what's more nourishing than a strong intuition that takes care of us, that leads us to good places, that gives us good things in our life? So,
Mhm.
absolutely, our womb is such a powerful tool for us being able to take care of ourselves, to take that new layer of intuition, because it wants us to be okay. It's literally why it takes in these terrible, terrible things and hides them from us, is so that we can be okay, so we
Mm-hmm.
can nourish ourselves, and so we can grow. That's
Mm-hmm.
all it wants for us.
Yes. And I want to say this because when people talk about the womb and like when you build a relationship, people some people feel like that's taboo, right? Like because
Mm.
of how society, it kind of shames away from being empowered within the womb. And
Oh
it
yeah.
necessarily doesn't have to always be sexual, but it definitely building that relationship requires pleasure, right? It requires for you to navigate pleasure. So it's coincide. It's two-sided thing, but we should not be shaming away from building the relationship with the womb. The womb is, like you said, it's just the epicenter of our intuition, of our power, and we need that. A lot of times I've had clients who a lot of them are disempowered or lack confidence and lack like self-esteem, and they have a lot of self-worth issues. And if you peel back the layers, they don't have a relationship with their womb. They don't have a relationship with their intuition. They don't trust themselves. They don't feel comfortable with themselves. And a lot of that is from the trauma or even past lives. And the thing is, in order for us to be able to work through that, you have to connect with the womb. You have to build a relationship with self. That's essentially what it is.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And people in society think it's so okay just to decide that like this part of your body is not okay. It happens for men too. And like, oh nope, we don't want to. Whatever this body part can do for you, just don't talk about it, okay? Are we not supposed to talk about our eyesight? Are we not supposed to talk about our stomach when we're hungry? Are we not
Yeah.
supposed to talk about our ears when they're ringing? Like, how many other parts of our body are we just going to decide are socially not acceptable? And we're
Mm-hmm.
going to stop talking about them with each other. You like, you know what? Hey, how's your head feeling today? Did you just ask me about my head? Oh my god, like, whoa there, calm down. Like, how inappropriate is that? We have decided that our strongest connection to the world beyond us
Mm-hmm.
is evil, and
Mm.
we don't want to talk about it. And it's not okay when it is literally a fucking portal. I'm sorry, I didn't know if you're allowed to swear on your
Oh,
podcast,
you
but it
girl, we grown over here. Go ahead, say what you.
it's a fucking portal. It's
Yeah.
how like literally people come from the spirit world into the physical world through a fucking portal in our
Yeah.
bodies. And we're not
Yeah.
allowed to talk about that because it's so scary
Mm-hmm.
to the people who are trying to control what the other side looks like to everybody else. When you just accept that the other side is this beautiful and large and varied place that nobody has control over,
Mm-hmm.
then you also come to accept that the womb's a beautiful thing, that portal's a beautiful thing, the energy's a beautiful thing, the creation's a beautiful thing. It all just comes together into like this, oh, suddenly everything's okay situation.
Mm.
Once you stop letting other people control whatever is coming next for you,
Yeah.
whenever you
Yes.
tell them to shut up, then
Yeah.
suddenly everything's good.
Absolutely, Alexander, because it's what everyone else says has no bearing on it shouldn't have no bearing on your own journey of your own whatever that is for you. And the thing is, a lot of times we're limited because of what other people say or what they think deem is appropriate. But the gateway to your happiness or to your love, to your peace is going like finding your own way and really learning who you are. If we're talking about sex, if we're talking about sensuality, that's like it's part of life. And like the most powerful women or even men, the people who have the most I want to say like abundance of creativity or manifestations, a lot of them have a lot of sexual energy. A lot of them are very much in tune with their womb, in tune with themselves, because you got to be. Some of the most disempowered people do not have a relationship with their creative center because of all the blockages. So society wants to tell you, you know, it's taboo, this is wrong, this is bad. But I honestly feel like because they know the power of it. So
Oh yeah.
they don't want people to really be empowered that way. Because if you are empowered that way, that means you can create a life by your own design, by your own, what you truly want to have. Like there's no limit. And
Yeah.
I like to break the taboos. Like you definitely need to find or have a relationship with your womb, with your creative center, because all the other stuff will tie into it. Working through your heart, trusting your crown, trusting your throat, all that stuff. If you don't have a space where you can connect with the portal, like you said, because it is a portal. It is a portal. If something's going in and something's going out, that's that's the portal.
That's a
Okay,
portal.
it's a portal. It's a definite portal. If you don't have that, first of all, let me just backtrack because I want to just emphasize that it's a portal. It is a portal. So can you imagine like how magical that is to have a portal within our own bodies that we can create? We are able to do so much with it. Why would we second guess that? Why would we want to be separate from that? Like damn, my womb is a life giver. My womb creates life. My womb can do all these different things. Why the hell would I want to not have a relationship with her? Like why not? So it's
Exactly.
powerful as hell. And I'm coming from a religious background. I'm coming from being like shamed, well, sexually shamed and sexually fearful, and not wanting to express myself and not feeling confident with myself. But all this ties in together: the self-worth, the self-love, the confidence, the power, just the divinity. It's all about cultivating that relationship with the womb. So I kind of went off.
Oh, you're good. I'm enjoying it. Go for it.
But let me ask you, Alexandra, just to go back a little bit, what led you onto this journey as far as you helping others in this capacity?
So for me, it was actually completely accidental. It started all with I began receiving hypnotherapy from somebody. I was in a
Hmm.
bad place and I didn't know what to do next, so I ended up finding this hypnotherapist who was willing to trade work for sessions, and I accidentally started channeling spirits in one of our sessions, and she's like, "Oh, we're embracing this. This is a good thing." I'm from a super religious background. I One of the things I was trying to get over was I just got out of a 5 year long abusive relationship where I was
Hmm.
sexually, mentally, and emotionally abused and
Hmm.
everything. And so like the world was just very scary for me. I was
Hmm.
also, and I realized this later, but it helped me realize it. I was living in a little bit of a cult and everything too. So like I had a lot
Mm.
going on, and I was very sheltered, very afraid. I did not believe I had any control over the world. I did not believe that I had any capability, any capacity for anything real.
Mm.
And I also had womb trauma,
Mm.
not just from my ex-boyfriend, but I started to learn that as I went back through my past lives, I had a cycle of womb trauma that was happening. And it was where it began actually is what created the next circumstance, which
Mm.
created the next circumstance, which
Mm.
created the next circumstance, because like attracts like, where
Mhm.
my womb took in this damage and said, "Here, I'm going to protect you from this. You're going to be okay. I will make sure you're okay." It just kept reattracting the same thing over and over and over again. I kept going through this situation again, kept dealing with these things in several lives. And then my womb would be like, "It's okay, I'll hold on to that one too. Don't worry, it's okay, I got you. You're protected. It's okay." And that just made the energy bigger and bigger and bigger. So I started going through the hypnotherapy, started realizing I could channel spirits. From there, I decided I wanted to turn that into healing work, and I tried to learn Reiki and accidentally repaired my Reiki teacher's gallbladder with something that wasn't Reiki, and we couldn't figure out what it was. And the more and more I talked to the angels, they're like, "You're a divine light servant. That's what you do. That's what we want you to keep doing." And then just me starting to go through my own body and realizing how much I held and realizing how much damage I really had beyond what I had experienced in this life. Once I cleared that, the like attract like happened. And more women who were looking for that release, who were looking for that confidence, who were looking to understand why they had hormone problems, looking to understand why they couldn't bring a child into the world, looking to
Mm.
understand
Mm.
why they were so scared of sex, why they were so scared of men, why they were so scared of themselves.
Mm.
They started being attracted to me because I was finally coming out of that space, and I was able to hold space for them to begin that too.
Mhm.
So that's
Mhm.
how mine worked out.
I love that. I love that. And that's normally how the universe works. It's really funny. Like when we are coming out of something or when we're working through something, the universe will start bringing people around us that need that, right? That like they
Right.
reflect that. And I look at that's like a natural way of showing us what our gift is. Like we like, okay, you've come through that. So here goes some people who need some help too.
Yeah.
So
And
I
I
relate to that so much because that's happened to me on my own self-love
yeah.
journey, and I was like, "Why is everybody coming around that got the same story, same situation? This is really
Yeah.
weird."
And it's such a beautiful confirmation too, and it's so nice to learn that we're not alone in it too, right? Like
Mhm.
it made you feel less isolated to know somebody else had been through these things, to know that
Mhm.
somebody else was struggling with this too. You were no longer just this pathetic person that was the only one who couldn't figure it out. You were part of a shift and a change, and you were able to support others who were going to then be able to support others who would then support others and start allowing these cycles of just disempowerment and trauma to dominate our entire species. So
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
It is a very much beautiful thing. I love our work. Uh, I always say my experience is not in vain. It's here to, even though some of the stuff is can be uncomfortable and painful and definitely challenging at times. I do know coming through that it's a reason, right? And a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
times doing, especially doing this type of work, we're here to be almost like the guidepost or light post for others to see that they can come through certain things or that there's another way, and that they don't have to stay stuck. So the I'm grateful for the journey, but goodness gracious. Uh,
oh I know. I actually had one of my teachers explain to me one time because she too had been through some incredibly extreme stuff. Like, guys, go ask a psychic. Ask a psychic about their past, and I swear to God, every single one's gonna have this massive traumatizing moment in it. At least
uh,
one. And
yeah.
I asked one of my teachers one time, I was like, why is that? Like,
Hmm.
why couldn't we just open our eyes and see the world beyond us and be able to accept the wisdom? And she said, well, if life is perfect and everything was good here, why would you ever look outside?
That's
And
true.
so, with these traumas that we get, which suck,
Mm,
we grow, we blossom, and we realize that no, this is not perfect, and we
mm-hmm,
want to find what is. Because we as humans are so curious. We're always searching for perfection. It's trained in
mm,
us so big. We
mm-hmm,
literally have an entire part of our body that controls perfectionism, our fucking ego. You
mm-hmm.
know, it's all about that. It's literally programmed for perfectionism. So when we experience trauma, we start to look for, okay, what is perfect because this is not it.
Mm-hmm.
And that opens up intuitions, that opens up gifts, that changes things for people. So as much as it
Yes.
sucks, it is an amazing part of our journey.
The journey in itself, because I see some people just stay stuck in it or they're afraid to face it. And I say that the thing is that from what I've learned, the universe is going to force it to happen, whether you like it, want it to or not, or it's going to keep putting things in your life where it's
Yeah,
going to, it either requires you to go deeper or requires you to question or requires you to ask. And some people just refuse, which, and that's okay. But I think the universe is going to continue to push you
yeah,
until you have no other choice. But the journey in itself, anybody that's a healer, anybody that's a teacher in this capacity, anybody that's a coach in this capacity, we've all been through shit.
yeah.
We've all
Yes,
had
we
some shit. We've all come through some shit. Like every guest I've had on here, and they've told me their story. We've like, I resonate with everything because I've had my own stuff. I've had my own pain, and
yeah,
this we're not saying that we're immune to it because we still life still coexists. Like we still have to go through life. Life still shows up, but we've been given tools and resources and a way of knowing, a deeper knowing of self that we weren't
mhm,
equipped with initially. And so when you have that, it doesn't disempower you; it actually empowers you. So it's not a perfect journey, but it's a it's a I feel like it gets better. It just gets better
yeah,
because the awareness changes, it shifts. For me, it does. Now, one of my girlfriends always says she wish she can go back to being a Christian, and she wish she can go back being asleep because it's like we always got to do more work, and
Mm,
I always tell her like, no, I don't look at it that way because who I was before, I was really sad. I was really down. I was really, really in a place of in a dark, place.
yeah,
And so I wouldn't want to go back there for anything in the world. This journey doesn't end, but I damn sure am willing to take the chance on myself now. I wasn't willing to
yeah,
do that before.
absolutely.
Yeah. So this has been amazing talk. Oh my goodness. I was gonna say to you, I know you said before earlier about, speaking the prayer to the womb
Mhm.
and from the Hawaiian prayer. I was gonna say, is there anything else you would guide someone to building a relationship to the womb, or just besides the mantra, just more of like what else can they do to develop some type of relationship with the womb?
Absolutely. So, beyond speaking to your womb, because that's going to be the easiest way that most people are going to be able to find time and ability to do,
Mm-hmm.
is to just be able to kind of focus on that part of your body and say something positive, say something loving, say something forgiving. But other ways to do it is if you have been attuned to Reiki or if you are open to energy work, just sending a little bit of light energy to your womb every day and allow it to get that healing energy every single day is a great way to go about it. To take it out of the body a little bit more, allow yourself to start playing and creating more. Allow yourself to dance. Allow yourself to get out crayons and a piece of construction paper and
Mm-hmm.
just don't think about it. Just start scribbling on the page, and then shapes will start to form, and then different things will start to form. And next thing you know, you're going to have a creation. It's going to be a creation from that womb. It's going to be a creation from intuition, from not perfection, not from the ego, not from the head. It's going to actually come from an energetic space. And that starts to allow your womb to know that it's okay, it's safe to express itself. Um, those are going to be primary ways. Allow yourself to start exploring pleasure if it's something you haven't allowed yourself to do at this point, because connecting with what the womb enjoys and what you enjoy for on a sexual front too will
Mm-hmm.
also give it that freedom to express itself, and it may help you to work through some things. I started to learn that a lot of kinks that I have are actually related to past traumas that I have. And when I have those kinks and I
Mm-hmm.
embrace them, I am
Mm-hmm.
letting my womb know and that trauma know that, hey, what happened to me can't hurt me because, fuck, I enjoy it now. It's a good thing now. Like, it
Yeah.
disempowers the trauma.
Mm.
And so, if you're a very kinky individual, you've probably been through some shit in past lives and this life and everything, and that's okay. Explore that, give it light, illuminate
Mm.
it, allow
Mm.
yourself to acknowledge it, and you'll learn so much about yourself, and your room will feel super, super
Yes, thank you, Alexandra. The last part I'm gonna piggyback on the BDSM, the kinks or whatever. That's probably a lot of that is tied to some type of pain, some type of wound. I'm not trying to tell all my business, but I also well, I still do. I have like certain kinks and whatnot, and because I developed a relationship with my womb and with myself, I do understand now that a lot of it is about giving consent,
Mhm.
giving allowing someone to have power, allowing someone to take control, but that comes from my sexual trauma as a child. So now I am in power. Like I have my power, but I'm releasing that, but I'm giving permission. I'm giving consent at this point.
Mhm.
So in a way, it's healing me. It's helping me transform that pain into my power, into a place of healing. So a lot of us, and some people will shame you because of a kink or a BDSM, but a lot of this is still in a way of healing and learning about self. Um, and so I do agree. I didn't know that before, that a lot of those who are kinky, it could be tied to something from this life or a past life. But going through my own awakening, I was like, oh, this is what that is.
Yeah,
Okay, so this
makes a lot
actually,
more sense then,
yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah, this makes a lot more sense, and it makes sense why why I wasn't fulfilled before. Like I do need these things because it's healing for me. It's transformational for me. It's good for my soul. It's good for my spirit, and that's okay. That's
Mhm.
okay. And so, all those tips are really really great. I also would want to just say to you guys, I'm really big about yes, speaking life into the womb, building relationship. Pleasuring yourself, manifesting, all those things. If you don't know what that stuff is, you need to go Google somewhere. Oh, reach out to Alexandra. But because there's power there. But also be mindful of what you're eating. Be mindful of what you pay attention to just how your womb speaks to you, what comes up. A lot of times we go to the doctor and they say you have these things, and it could be what they're saying, but it also could be that you haven't been paying attention to her, you haven't been showing her love, you haven't been releasing things, connections, cords. You haven't released certain traumas or certain things that can energetically be moved and shifted, and you don't have to do other things. But there's always sometimes a holistic way of doing things, a holistic way of transforming the relationship with the womb. And I'm a testament to that. So the more you know about your womb, the better your intuition is. Okay, I'm gonna speak to the ladies because let me just break it down real quick. The more you know about your coochie, the more that you the more that you are empowered, okay, the more
Mhm.
that you are able to, because look, the womb will tell you about the person that you sleeping with, the womb will tell you about your own self, the womb will tell you about if you have some things going on, some things you're carrying. You just have to pay attention, you just have to listen, you just have to build a relationship with her. She's going to tell you everything you need to do. Okay, she's going to tell you everything. And if you don't pay attention to it, then that's when other things come up. But I've enjoyed this conversation, Alexandra. And I there was a comment, but I'm not going to post it because the person said they couldn't that the, the person that commented said something about they don't speak English. So it was a spam comment, I guess.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's my well.
I don't know what that was. Well, I thank you for watching. But I think that's pretty much it. Is there anything else that you would like to add as far as about anything at all? Any parting words, any parting thoughts?
Just I invite every single one of you beyond your womb too. The rest of your body, your entire body is carrying things right now. It has
Hmm.
stories it wants to tell you. It has attention it wants brought to it. Like if you find that you're struggling a lot with certain parts of your body, like your knee always hurts or your head always hurts, or you struggle to express yourself from the throat, or you struggle to share from the heart, whatever it is, your body's holding things. So taking those moments of mindfulness and allowing your body to speak to you is going to change your life. So whether it's your womb, whether it's your heart, whether it's your pinky toe, there's something there that wants to talk to you, and you just need to tune in and listen. So I invite you to do that. I invite you to explore yourself more in every phase. Explore yourself emotionally, explore yourself mentally, explore yourself sexually, explore yourself physically, and allow yourself to know you best, because that you're your own keeper. If you don't know you, how is anybody else going? And you
Yeah.
deserve to be known.
Hmm.
So that's all I got.
Snap, snap, snap. Okay, drop the mic. That right there, you said everything that needs to be said. You deserve to know you. Yes. Okay. If y'all want to connect with Alexandra, okay, if you want to connect with her, 'cause she doesn't just do womb healing. She also doesn't, and you're gonna have to list everything again, Alexandra.
Yeah, for sure. I also do channeled readings, so I connect with celestial beings. I can talk to them for you. I can talk to your ancestors for you. I do ceremonies. Those are more um, local to me. I'm in Utah. If anybody else is in Utah, hey. If you're up by Idaho, hey. So I also do ceremonies like cacao ceremonies and everything like that. I do rituals, cord cutting rituals. I'm a generational fire worker, so I do a lot of fire magic and everything like that too. So um, readings, healings, whatever. I do education and speaking as well. Just go ahead and connect with me on Instagram. It's at luminary.magic, or you can find me on Facebook, Luminary Magic LLC, and you guys can go ahead and connect me with me there. Eventually, gonna get my YouTube going again. We're getting there. we're working on it. But for now, Instagram and Facebook are going to be the best ways to connect with me, or you know, yeah, reach out to Miss J over here and have her send you my contact if that's another way you want to go about it. Totally okay.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes. Y'all go ahead. If those who are watching later or watching now or listening on the podcast, go ahead and follow her once again, IG at luminary.magic. And that is on Facebook as well. So it's facebook.com/luminary.magic. Tap in, reach out to her, find a resource. And I always end things by just stating that, what you want wants you to. But you just have to have the tools and resources to tap into your own self knowledge that you can be able to awaken who you truly are, your authentic self. And so these tools, the Alexandra, and all the things, and side note, all the things she listed that she does, that's a whole lot of stuff. So, there's just too many different things that she can tap in and help you with. But all these things are just necessary for you to grow. So the womb in itself is here for you to evolve and for you to grow and for you to become your best self, whatever that looks like for you, not for anybody else, but for you. So hopefully this was enlightening to you all. Thank you so much, Alexandra, for joining me.
Thank
And
you.
and I will see you guys soon. So you have a good evening. Peace out.